Welcome back. With temperatures on the rise, more dog owners are getting outdoors with their furry friends. That's why our next guest is here to make sure that we safely interact with one another.
Yes, here with tips on how to best prepare your pup for their summertime adventures is Dr. Bianca Ferlisi and her pal, Kai. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Good little munchkin. Now, Kai, look, you little treat. There you go. Very good puppy. Okay, so Dr. Bianca, it feels like maybe there are more like dog attacks being reported, or maybe we just see more on the news. Is this actually happening? And if so, what do you think's going on?
It's a hot topic for sure, and I think we're hearing a lot about dog attacks and dog bites. I don't know if we can pinpoint exactly why this is happening. There's likely a lot of factors, but what we do know is there's been a huge surge in pet ownership over the past few years with COVID, and with more dogs, more encounters, it's likely that some of those are not going to be the most positive. So hopefully today we can talk about how to avoid those situations and give some insight into what to do if that happens with you and your dog.
Absolutely. Well, let's start with that, because I've had a number of friends who've had, really awful encounters with dogs. So what's the best thing to do if you are in a situation and you encounter an aggressive dog?
It's definitely scary. The first thing you're gonna have to do is remain calm if you can. Ask for help. Try and put a physical barrier between you and that dog, whether that's going inside a building, going inside a car, getting behind a fence, anything you can do to just create a physical barrier. And then, call for help, call for the owner of that pet, see if they can recall their dog, get them on a leash, and, just try and be as safe as you can.
Sorry, I got all the treats, sorry.
Yeah, so that's what I would do.
Another very important question, how important is it to train your dog?
It's imperative. It creates a predictable environment for you and your pet. You wanna make sure that your pet knows how to sit on command, that they'll come to you when you're calling them, that they can walk appropriately on a lead. All of these are key for creating positive experiences out on your walks.
So you're going to take us through 4 key steps when it comes to navigating outdoors with your pup. And I will say this as a longtime dog owner, it's not common enough that people are going to obedience school with their dogs. So I do say to people, highly encouraged. So let's start with something that you call the pre-poperations. What are these 4 steps?
So this is going to be being prepared for your walk. So ensuring you have a well-fitted harness and leash and collar with identification on it, making sure you've got your dog's favorite treats. As you can see, Kai loves hers. A muzzle if it's indicated for your pet, and potentially a first aid kit, all the necessities for a routine walk.
Yeah. Okay, so next up, you're calling this street smarts is the next step, which is managing encounters on the go. So what do we need to know?
That's right. So it's important that you are intentional with your walks, walking across from other dogs, communicating with owners prior to having any interactions, being aware of your surroundings. So if there are any joggers or cyclists or children in the area, knowing what your pet's triggers are and avoiding those scenarios altogether, maybe keeping a close lead on your pet and steering them away from those situations. Kai loves being here. She loves being around people, but she's very scared around a lot of other dogs. So the way that we set her up for success is we don't bring her to dog parks or doggy daycare, because I don't want to put her in a position where she's scared and might react out of that fear and potentially bite.
And you want to always make sure that you're keeping your dog on a leash, unless it's an off leash.
That's right. So, it's important to take a look at the bylaws of where you live, and keeping them on a lead anywhere that they're supposed to be. There are some off-leash areas, but whenever you're outside of those, ensuring that they're on a lead, that's very important.
More, Bubs.
So I want to talk to parents for a second, because I have a Doberman and I always tell people how to behave around my dog for their safety and my safety and my dog's safety. What do parents need to know with their kids before they encounter perhaps dogs on the street?
That's a great question. Like I said, children can be a trigger for some dogs. They're, quick and running around, and that can be quite frightening. So anytime you're doing an introduction, doing so, asking for permission, first of all, doing so slowly, never leaving pets unattended with the children, and speaking to your trainer, your veterinarian, and everyone on the pet's care team, your family members, to ensure that you're all on the same page about those boundaries to set them best up for success. And also acknowledging it's okay if your pet doesn't like children. It's okay if your pet doesn't like other pets. We have to respect that they have their limitations, and it's our job to, maintain their life within that realm of comfort.
And on that, you say step 3 is know your dog's signals. Explain that to us.
That's right. You can't expect everyone to understand the full behavior of a dog, but knowing your own dog and when they're showing signs of stress and anxiety is really important. Some dogs will shake, some dogs will bark. For example, if you have a dog that, gets very agitated around construction noise, they're barking, they're, really out of sorts around it, that might be them telling you they are not loving that. So on your walk, avoid construction routes, things like that, just avoiding those triggers.
Okay, so hopefully it doesn't get to this, but you say step 4 is the emergency response. What does that mean?
So in the event of an altercation, you're going to want to make sure that you exchange information with the other pet's owner, as well as vaccine information of your dog and making sure your pet is up to date if possible. You're going to want to look into the local bylaws to see how you need to go about reporting that event. And then finally, you're going to want to get medical attention or veterinary attention for your pet. What I find with dog bites, if you've ever played tug with a dog, what do? They bite and then they shake their head. Now, graphic, but picture that on an animal. A lot of the damage is actually under the skin. So what might look like a few puncture wounds where the teeth entered, a lot of what you can't see is the issue. So we can see crushing injuries, infection, and pain, right? So getting them assessed as soon as possible by a veterinarian can ensure that we can address all of those problems appropriately.
Okay. We only have about 30 seconds left, but how do you know when your dog might need professional training?
That's a conversation to have with their pet team. So that's going to be their trainer, everyone in your family, and your veterinarian. This should be an ongoing conversation and updating as things change. And we have to trust that group of people to decide when it's time to maybe go to a behaviorist, implement different training modalities, or even use medications at times.
Yeah, such great information. Thank you so much for stopping by, Dr. Bianca Ferlisi and Kai, of course. All right, stick around. We'll have more on the social right after the break.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.